risk
that could provoke a nuclear war.
Peter, from an outside view, and I want to bring in Tara Kartha here. Tara Kartha is a former National Security Council Secretary. She's left in Delhi. From India, as we view it, right? You've had an election in America. Trump has come in promising an end to the wars, right? It's looking so bad for America. America is looking like a confused country. We're all wondering here, sitting in India, what is going on? I mean, you have one incoming president who's saying that he's going to end all wars. And you have an old Joe Biden, right? And people know that he's not in his not in his best capacity to serve as the president, and he's nowhere to be seen, even in that G20 picture. But that's not the point. Point is, it's looking very bad on America. I don't know what the American people think about this. Tara Kartha, from an outsider's view, how is this looking to you?
I think it's political spite. He wants to make sure. Trump said the day he comes, he says, I'll end this in one day. He'll end the war in one day. Joe Biden, by giving this supply of missiles, is trying to make sure that doesn't happen, because this is a clear escalation. As we said, the first couple of missiles have already been fired. It's extremely dangerous, and I can't believe that a politician would resort to such a tactic. There are people's lives at stake.
Yes.
The nuclear war which is at stake. How can you do this? It's unbelievable. And it's still Russia's doctrine. If you remember, when the war started, he was kind of talking of nuclear strikes. Then they went back on it. They kind of reversed that. They didn't say, they said, we will not go into that kind of escalation. But now I don't think Putin really has a choice. And as I said, he's been talking about this in September. So it's not even as if you didn't know.
Yeah.
Fred, the fact here is this. While on the one hand, this is also about petty politics playing out in the United States of America, but many would say that as far as Kremlin is concerned, Kremlin essentially wants to change this given the fact that time is running out. Under President Trump, perhaps President Putin may not have that kind of maneuvering that you would expect, and that would essentially mean consolidate the area as soon as you can. Particularly what we are witnessing in Donetsk right now, where he's trying to consolidate their position, and the fact that he's brought in the North Koreans. How exactly do you think this is going to really pan out even for Russia right now?
I don't think that the Russian war agenda is pegged in any way to Trump's coming in. I think that the Russians have very, very few hopes that Trump will change much, if anything. It's been my impression for at least the last year that they are just grimly determined to win the war on the battlefield. And they are, in the process of apparently doing that. Now, it would be helpful if big countries were to step in and try to mediate a peace, but it would have to be realistic. And if they're going to twist Moscow's arm, they probably got to be prepared to twist Kiev's arm too. But I don't see any moves like that, certainly no signals of that sort coming from the West, other than Trump's rhetoric. Neither are big countries like India or China or Brazil apparently stepping up. There might be things happening under the radar that I don't know about, but basically we've got a war that's going on.